It was about 6, 7 months. Armani was about 6, 7 months at the time of our separation.
Okay.
So from the time she was born until we split, she was about 6, 7 months. So
Okay. So, did you all have any kind of uh, court order at that time? How old was Armani when the first court order went into place?
I believe she was one because a year later, I ended up moving to Dallas in November of 2014. 2015 is when the court stuff started popping up. So it was 2015.
All right. So before the first court order, what what was the agreement between the parties as far as the child Armani?
If from my remembrance, there really was an agreement. Like I said, we were living with each other when we did split. I didn't hear from Shay for several months. When I did finally hear from her and she came back around to let me see my daughter, um, she was pregnant with with the little boy she has now. So there really wasn't no agreements. We were just living together, taking care, of our child. And like I said,
Okay.
things went left.
You referred to someone named Shay. Are you talking about the mother of the child, Levon?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's the name I've always gone by for her.
Okay, it's just important to keep the record straight. Uh,
Yes, ma'am.
all right. So between splitting up and you moving to Dallas, how long was it before you got to see the child?
Ooh, it was over a year. It was definitely over a year. I don't know exactly, but I do know it was over a year. And this was several times actually that wasn't able to see my child for um several months. But that year was the longest I've been able to see without. I'm sorry, that was the longest time I didn't really wasn't able to get to see and be around my child. And
Okay. So then the Attorney General's office brought the parties together, and at some point there was an initial order. Is that correct?
yes, I believe she had went up and put me on child support.
Yes, but that initial order also gave you certain rights as far as visitation.
Yes.
All right. So how well did that work as far as you getting a chance to be with the child and have your parental visitation?
Majority of the times it was good. I did, I kept up with my visitation days. Like I said, I lived out here majority of the time of her growing up. But a lot of times that I did get to visit, I was the one who drove down to Midland a lot of times or met, her mom halfway to get our money or drop her off. A lot of the times that we were supposed to meet halfway, it was always, her mom bringing her or somebody else. And if she did come, she was with somebody else, different people at the same time. Um, like I said, it wasn't always where we meet had halfway. And a lot of the times she always made an excuse, oh, I don't have a vehicle, my car's broken down, it was this, it was that. And it'd be times that she would say, "Oh, I would give you this for gas," and it doesn't be that amount. It'll be way less, and it'll be
Oh,
what that is. But
we're
we
still
were able to. I know.
we're still kind of trying to build this timeline for the judge's benefit.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So you missed out on seeing your child for a year. Here comes the OAG order, and whether it worked well or whether it didn't work well, you at least did get some visitation after that.
Yes, majority of the time during the summer.
Okay. Now, your current possession of the child started when?
2 years ago, when she got out of school in Midland in May, I came. I believe she got out that Friday. That Saturday, I was there to pick her up. And
And we're gonna talk more about the current possession that you've had the child, but
okay.
in between the first Attorney General order and 2 years ago when your current possession of the child began, during that period of time, okay, so from the first order to 2 years ago, were there times when, besides the current time, that you had possession of the child?
Yes, it was.
Okay, let's talk about those. So previous to this current possession, what were the circumstances where you would have possession of the child?
A lot of time. One of the times came when she had called me one day and was just like, "Hey, I'm having a hard time dealing with her. I need a break, et cetera, et cetera. I need you to come and get her." Which I would stop everything I was doing at that moment and come and get my child. Um, I would. The longest she was with me before now was about a year. Well, no, but about close to a year. I'm not gonna say a year fully, but it was about close to a year. And ended up taking her back to her mom. It's been several times actually that I've actually kept her longer than 6 months. But this time being the longest time.
Okay, so now we're going to start on the current possession. So you picked up the child after the child got out of school for the year. So
Yes,
May or
ma'am.
June. Okay. What grade had the child just finished?
First grade.
Okay. So, and why did you take possession at the end of that year? Was this your normal summer possession, or was there something else?
It was that too, because I know in the order that I'm supposed to have her for the summers. But what really made me go and get her is the fact that before school let out, she had constantly hit me up several times stating the fact that she wants her down here, she needs a break, she's doing too much at school, at home. Um, Basically, overall, she was just to the point where she couldn't handle her,
Oh,
and she needed me to step in.
we need to clarify. You keep
Mhm.
using pronoun she. Who
I'm
are you?
sorry, Levante. Levante, I'm sorry.
Okay. So,
Levante with contact.
so there was, similar to a prior discussion, there was a discussion just before this possession regarding Miss Johnson's inability to pull it all together and care for the child.
Right.
Okay. Now, that first summer that you had, Armani, after her first grade year, uh, are there some things that you started to notice about whether or not the child was prepared for second grade?
No, she wasn't. Honestly, her mind was not set. When when she started school down here, I did not know that she was behind her on her grade levels. One day the school contacted me and said that, and this was her starting in second grade, her first year on the school out here. Her school had contacted me and said, "Hey, Mr. Dunson, Armani is in second grade, of course, but she's on the kindergarten level." At that point, that's what prompted me to put my foot down and say, "Hey, you know, enough is enough. I'm gonna step in and I'm gonna do what it takes to get my child to where she needs to be." It really bothered me the fact that my child was in the second grade and did not know what 1 plus 1. She didn't. She'll throw. We could tell her what is 1 plus 1, and she'll throw out any number except two that she could possibly think of. It took almost 2, 3 months after the first day of school to get start to where they started seeing that she was making progress of getting back, making her way to get back on track with her grade level. We put her in after school programs until we moved to the location that we're at now, which is Grand Prairie, because we were staying in Irving at the time. And once we got the spot that we're at now, we switched our schools, which, they do have a better after school program, where they, do activities, they help with homework, uh, other things that they do. But we've been getting her enrolled in that. She's pretty much been there every day. Some days I'll cut her some slack and, let her out. But yes, Armani was really, really down on her grade level. And when I did contact Miss Levante Johnson about it, she made like she was so surprised that she was at the grade level she was, which didn't make sense to me because she lives with you. So you ought to know what's going on with her schooling, and for her to be 8 years old at the time and not know what 1 plus 1 is, that says a lot. And
Okay,
yes,
and
ma'am.
so has the child been living with you ever since?
Yes, sure.
And has arrangements been made for visitation between the child and the child's mother?
The only time that Miss Levante ever tried to make an attempt to come down here was last year when school was letting out. That's the only time she ever made a commitment to come. That was the only time she ever said, "Hey, I want to come see her. I want to come visit her." Other than that, she has not made no attempt to say, "Hey, I want to visit her," like for birthday, holidays, anything. Uh,
Now,
she did.
earlier this year, did my office negotiate a visitation between the parties?
Yes, yes, they did. From my understanding, she's still yet to make an attempt to come and visit her.
So the emails that went back and forth, quoting a time in April, did that visitation not occur?
No, ma'am. Not a word was said when she called to, talk to Armani, which, whenever she calls to talk to her, I hand Armani the phone. I let them have their conversation. And, when they're done, she'll bring me back my phone. But every conversation has been recorded. So she's never made an attempt to say, "Hey, I want to come out one weekend." It would always be when she calls, "We miss you. You gonna be back home soon." This little stuff like that. But it was never, we're gonna come out. I'll say her and her son, "We're gonna come out. We're gonna come visit you." Stuff like that. Now on my end, I've never stopped her from seeing my mom. Never, never.
Okay.
We had
Now,
we
how much electronic visitation has there been, either phone or FaceTime or things like that?
majority of the time they spoke over phone. I don't have FaceTime on my phone, so I mean they never really got the chance to, see each other face to face.
Looking for how often?
Oh, how often she would call the probably once or twice every week, every other week. At first, at the beginning, it wasn't as much, but now that the court day has gotten even closer, she's made an attempt to call more than often before.
Um, does the child, has the child's behavior, does it change in anticipation of a phone call, or once the phone call happens, does it change after the phone call?
Uh, it not all the time, no, ma'am. Sometimes I can, based off their conversation versus what the mother tells her, she'll kind of get, you know, how can I say use the word kind of sidetracked from what she normally would. Like, let me use this for example to make it make sense. When when Levante calls, it's never, hey, do you need anything? You know, she'll every blue moon she'll ask how was school and stuff like that. Of course, our mom's gonna say it was good and stuff, but it's never, hey, do you need anything? You know, nothing. It's just, oh, well, we love you and you're gonna be home soon, and we got this, we got that, and which is cool, but it doesn't mean her anything any good if she's out here. She'll make like, oh, we got you a dog, or we got you a bunch of toys, or we got you this, we got you that, which is, like I said, is cool for her to have there. But while she's here, you haven't done it. And recently, she has been sending money recently, um, for her, for whatever it is she wanted. And I do let her know, hey, your mom sent you money. If anything, all she wants to do is go buy some Roblox for her little tablet that I let her play on the weekends. I don't let her use her tablet during school week. Uh, because I've been trying to get her focused more on school than, come the what she's used to versus just coming home and going out to play and doing whatever it is she feel like she wants to do. So
All right, well, let's get back on the subject of school. Um, you're now in the second school year with this child, and
yes,
what
ma'am.
grade are you in?
She's in third.
And is she, have the teachers um, counseled you as to, has she moved up from the kindergarten level?
They have told me several times that she has been progressing a lot. She started off a little rough at the beginning, which, she came back from a long summer, and, how that be. But she started off a little rough. After that, she started picking up more and more, with her schooling, as far as her schoolwork and, taking things serious versus when she first came out here, and everything. But she has the teacher says she has progressed a lot. When she does come home and do her homework, I let her do it herself first, and then if she needs help, I help her. I try to get it to where I try to make sure she's understanding, what she's doing, and to see if she can do it on her own. And the homework that she has had is not hard. She has been able to catch on to it. Sometimes she needed help. She didn't understand it, would step in and help and everything. But yes, I can say that she has progressed a lot. And even outside of school, she has definitely progressed a lot. And
Well,
I
give me an example of that outside of school progression.
Okay, so let's say most kids nowadays they'll come home, throw their stuff on the floor, and go on about their business, do what they do. That's what she was doing. At that when she first got out here, we could barely get her to eat a meal. All she was used to is eating chips, junk, juice, soda, stuff that I don't let her have too much. I had to train her to get her right, to learn how to pick up after herself, make her take a shower, teach her how to use the bathroom. And that's another problem that I had. My child was about, it took my child up till she was 4 years old to get out of a pamper. And she was with her mom at that. It took my child up till she was 4 years old to get potty trained. Armani had came out here one summer, and it took me and my mom, Miss Carolyn Diggs, to train her to to get out of Pampers, and she was 4 years old. So every time that she has gotten with me, I've done everything in my power to help pick up that slack to get my child on track. It was times she was still peeing in the bed. She would be scared to use the bathroom for whatever reason, but she finally grew out of that. She keeps up after herself, like her room. Before she leaves the school, she makes sure her room is clean. Nothing's on the floor, or her bed is made. She she helps me out, wash dishes, clean up around the house every now and then. That's something that I'm starting to get her to do on her own, without me having to tell her. But yeah, before all that, Armani, You could definitely tell she did not have no home training. Did not
All right.
whatsoever.
Um, are you aware of any medical coverage for the child?
Medical coverage. From my understanding, I know that she's on some kind of assistance from the government. I do not know what all she's on. Besides Medicaid and food stamps, if she's still getting that. Um, like I say, I really don't know what all kind of coverage she has on her end.
What's your living situation? Do you live in a house or apartment?
It's a fourplex, so basically like an apartment. Yes, fine.
Okay. How many people live there?
It's three of us.
Okay. Besides yourself and Armani, who's the other person?
My wife, which she wasn't able to attend today. She had to work.
Okay. Do you have any other children?
No,
Does your wife have any other children?
no, she doesn't.
And are both you and your wife employed?
Yes,
And you still have the ability to deal with Armani, getting her to school, getting her back from the after school program? There's no issues there?
none at all.
So what do you feel would be in the best interest of the child, to live with you or to live with Miss Johnson?
Honestly, live with me because, like I said, Armani had no home training, no discipline, no nothing. Living with her mom, and it's not to tear her down, make her look bad, but that's the God's honest truth. Um, it bothered me because a lot of the times her living condition was very foul, very nasty. Um, the houses that I've been to over the years that Miss Johnson has had was very nasty. I used to have pictures of her house, and I've changed phones over the years, so I ended up losing a lot of those pictures, which I wish I had today to show you guys. Like, it was terrible. And I do remember her mom stating to me a couple of weeks ago how bad, her house is. I don't know how it is now at the ones that she get, but the ones prior, yes, terrible. Like Armani, one day Ms. Johnson called me and said that Armani had peed all in her room on the floor, and she has a bathroom right outside her door. Floor, like her room would be all like she got a crown right all on the walls. Her room was, yeah, it was terrible. And yeah, she I just feel like, she doesn't take the time out to actually parent when it comes to the kids. Like I said, when Hermione got here, I sat down and I peeped what she was used to. And like I said, she would come home and just make like she could do whatever it is she wanted, like she's our age, and that's not acceptable. It's not, especially being, a child.
Thank you. Your Honor, at this time, I'll pass the witness.
Okay. And Attorney Morales, you have 33 minutes and 37 seconds left.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Attorney Sweet, any questions for this witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Dunson, so your daughter has lived with you since May of 2021, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're requesting possession credits towards your child support arrears for those 2 years?
Yeah, I'm requesting full custody. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But do you understand that the prior order that was done December 2015 did require you to pay child support?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you recall that amount of child support per month was supposed to be $273?
I believe so. That's correct.
So do you understand that there is an arrears balance showing for the lack of payments of that amount?
I do understand. Yes, ma'am. And I
But
can
you're
explain.
requesting 2 years of possession credits for when your child has lived with you. So 24 months of 273 plus the interest that would be owed.
Yeah.
let me rephrase. So are you requesting that your child support arrears, the amount owed under the prior order, be reduced by 2 years worth of payments and interest?
No, I'm actually requesting custody. I'm not looking for any reduction since I've had her. I'm actually fighting for my child.
Hold on 1 second. Mr. Dunson, she's actually asking, maybe you're not understanding what she's asking. So essentially, when the order out of 2015, you were ordered to pay child support, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You failed to pay child support the entire time from 2015, which puts you in arrears. You understand that?
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So the arrears up until your daughter started living with you still exist. You understand?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
So since your child has been living with you for the past 2 years, she's asking you if you would like to receive credit towards the back pay that you owe for the 2 years.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
No problem.
So
No problem. And
Thank
Attorney
you.
Sweet, I stopped your time just then.
Oh, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate that. So Mr. Dunson, are you also wanting credit towards the medical support arrears for the 2 years?
Yes, ma'am.
So you did not have access to the medical cards, is that correct?
I don't know, ma'am. I've asked several times, and each time that I've asked, it was either no answer or nothing, little to nothing at all. So yes, ma'am.
So if your daughter had to go to the doctor the 2 years you were living with her, you had to pay out of pocket, is that right?
I would have, yes, ma'am.
Okay. So moving forward, do you have private health insurance available for your daughter?
No, I'm waiting on my new insurance to kick in. It'll be another month or two, maybe 3 at the most, before I get new insurance from the company that I'm at now.
Okay. So if the court were to order that you carry private health insurance, you understand that that would act as an open enrollment that your employer would then have to put your daughter on your insurance?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
It wouldn't be a problem.
So are you wanting to carry private insurance moving forward?
Yes, I can.
Do you know what the cost per month is going to be to you to carry just your daughter on your insurance?
I'm not too sure yet. From my understanding, it changes. I do know that they're working on a new insurance, working with a new insurance company, so they're not fully in terms of what's going on with them. So that part I can't tell you.
Okay. Are you
But
requesting?
I am like agreeing to it.
Okay. Are you requesting that Ms. Johnson be required to pay you cash medical support to cover the cost of that insurance?
Yes.
Are you also requesting that Ms. Johnson be required to pay you child support?
Yes.
Does Ms. Johnson have other children?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
How many?
One little boy. A
So
younger.
she has two children total?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know if she's employed?
From my understanding, yes.
Okay. Do you know where she works?
No, ma'am.
Do you have any personal knowledge?
I'm sorry.
Do you have any personal knowledge about how much she makes?
No, ma'am, I don't. From my understanding, she was working 2 jobs. That was what she told me.
Oh, when did she tell you that?
Some months ago. I can't tell you the exact month, but it wasn't too long ago that she told me that she was working 2 jobs. The job that I did know that she was working at, the first job was at a hotel, which I'm not sure if she's still there or not. And then I believe the second job was like at a grocery store or something.
So do you understand that Ms. Johnson's reimbursement to you of a cash medical support for insurance is capped at 9% of her gross income?
Yes, me. Did I understand?
Yes, do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So are you still willing to carry private health insurance even if, let's say, that 9% of her gross only covers about half of the cost of the health insurance?
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, I pass the witness.
Okay. All right, Ms. Johnson, you have the opportunity to ask Mr. Dunson questions based on the testimony that he just gave to his attorney as well as the attorney for the Office of the Attorney General. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I will set your time. Just know that if you hear either of the attorneys make an objection, after they make the objection, just wait, stop talking, allow me an opportunity to rule on the objection. And then depending on what I say, that'll tell you whether or not you need to ask another question or Mr. Dunson, has to answer the question that you asked. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am. So I can ask him questions.
Yes, ma'am, but they have to be questions, okay? This is not an opportunity to attack him by any means. To make comments, you may hear me make an objection. If you start making comments called sidebar, you're not allowed to do that. Ask him questions, okay?
Okay.
All right, you may proceed.
Okay. So is it true that we had talked about over the phone that you didn't have anything on your background, or that they had dropped the charges on the charge that you have, and that you were only going to just only keep her just only for 1 year and bring her back August 1st, 2022?
No.
And is it true that Armani has been monitored to talk on the phone with me only on speakerphone?
Yes.
Okay. Is it true that I have been sending money for months and months? I've been sending money since she...
Recently, yes. Not months and months, but recently. Within the past 2 months, yes.
Is it true that you have been asking your friends and family for money?
I have help from my family a few times, yes.
Okay. Is it true that when we had court the first time, you were told to return her back, but did not, and continue on to kept her? And once I asked to bring her back, you told me to wait to another court date, which your attorney had told you to hold Armani until we go back to court.
True, and it was also my summer to have her anyway.
Not for August 1st. No, you were supposed to bring her back August 1st.
It was my summer to have her.
And let's see.
And you didn't come August. You tried
Hold
to
on,
come in
Mr. Dunson, let her ask the question first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
On November 1st, 2022, that I have asked you, can I have her for the holidays, like Thanksgiving, for Christmas, and also her birthday?
You've never asked, you never made an attempt to ask me to even come and see her.
Okay, and is it true that I am not on her emergency contact list at her school?
You are.
I'm not. Okay.
Ms. Johnson, remember sidebar, you're not allowed to do that.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I understand your emotions are high, but just as best you can, just ask the question.
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Okay.
That's it for right now.
Okay. All right, any redirect, Attorney Morales? Oh, you're on mute. I didn't hear you.
No, ma'am. Given the time constraints, I'd rather move on to another witness.
Okay. All right. You may call your next witness.
I call Carolyn Diggs.
Okay. Ms. Diggs, if you would please remove yourself from mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Good morning, Ms. Diggs. How are you related, if any, to Brandon Dunson?
I'm his mother.
And where do you live?
I live here in Irving.
So since he returned to the DFW area, you guys live fairly close together?
Yes, he lived with me. Yes.
And he didn't always live with you though, right?
Off and on.
Okay. Well, even during the times when he wasn't living with you, did you have an opportunity to observe Armani during the stages of the last 2 years when your son had custody?
Yes.
Okay, so you were able to observe her when she first came to the DFW area?
Yes.
You were able to observe her when she was in second grade?
Yes.
And then you were able to observe her when she's in third grade?
Yes.
Okay. So go ahead and describe for the court what progress, if any, you've observed since Armani's been in the care of her father.
The progress I have seen, because when she was at the time when he got her, they was residing with me, and she was going to the Capel ISD because that's what I was close to, was Capel, and that's when he told me that he had got a call from the school stating the level that she was, and I asked him what he meant by that. And he was saying that they said that she was on a kindergarten level. And I say, how is that possible? When it was told that she was doing good in the Midland ISD. So they was able to get her on a program. She was in the after school Monday through Friday. And I started seeing a lot of progress. The only problem I had is she never wanted to go to bed. And that was one of the biggest things, is trying to get her to go to bed. So the agreement was she always wanted to sleep with me. So she would go to bed. I make sure no TV is on in order so she could go to sleep. Our money has progressed a lot. And not getting off a note, our money loves to draw. I agreed that I would get her some drawing material because she does love to draw. But she has really improved. She really has. The new school, I do pick her up sometimes when he's not able to get her. Depends on how late he has to work. So I do pick her up and keep her, and then I'll take her. My son will take over. My other son, he would take over and watch her till Brandon gets off, and till someone gets off, and then they take her from there. But she picks up. She's doing a lot better. I do ask her how's everything going as far as school and stuff, and she says good. I believe her. So I ask, tells her that if she needs assistance with anything, to let me know. And so I do try to help him out a lot with her as much as I can. But
Okay.
she really is.
Okay. Well, how many children did you raise?
2.
Okay. So you have an experience of your lifetime learning about children.
Yes.
Okay. Now, how do you feel Brandon is as a father?
I feel Brandon is a good dad. He's doing his best, as I stated to him, welcome to the real world as a male. Trying to raise a child. My thing, I just want the best interest for Armani. My biggest thing, I do have big thing. I'm big on educations. And like I said, the liking of information and not knowing certain things as a first grader, that kind of hard. And that for the past 2 years, and she's been out here, she's been having to go to after school for the past 2 years. That's a big one.
Okay. And When Mr. Dunson was testifying, not only did he testify about the child's progress in school, but also the child's social development at home. Do you agree with him that she's made improvements on being a good member of the household?
Yes. You know, for the past couple of weeks, I have been staying over there, taking her to school. And so, like I said, some days I have to pick up because they're down one vehicle. And I've been taking him to work. So I just had a little problem, you know, telling her to, you know, keep her room clean. Other than that, she's doing good. I mean, you know, she's getting it. She's getting it. Another thing I'm trying to teach Armani is every day before she goes get her bath, always lay your clothes out so you don't have to search for anything in the morning. That's the main thing. I'm just trying to get her on the pattern of just laying her out her school clothes daily.
It's a good pattern. Your Honor, I'll pass this witness.
Okay. All right. Attorney Sweet, do you have any questions for this witness?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Johnson, do you have any questions for this witness?
No, ma'am.
All right. Ms. Diggs, thank you for your testimony today. That concludes your testimony and you are free to leave the Zoom meeting.
Okay, thank you. Y'all have a good day. Bye-bye.
You're welcome, you too. Okay, Attorney Morales, you may call your next witness.
Yes, ma'am. I'd call Alvin Dunson.
All right. I'm sending you a prompt, Mr. Dunson, to
You need
unmute.
unmute.
Okay. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Mr. Dunson, what's your relationship to Brandon Dunson, if any?
I am his father.
And so we know your background. How many children did you raise?
I raised 4. As a single parent, 2, the 2 boys.
And didn't you recently have a child graduate from high school?
Yes, I did. Mm-hmm.
Now you live in Midland, is that correct?
I do.
And so maybe you haven't had the opportunity to witness Armani's transformation in the same way that Miss Diggs did.
Not in that sense, no.
Okay. So over the last 2 years, while your son has had possession of his child, what can you tell us that you observed?
Well, with before I had a chance to witness when Amani, I know that when Amani stayed here, up until she went to Dallas, I may have been able to see Amani no more than a handful of times. But I can say that I've seen Amani more with her being in Dallas because I had an opportunity to go to Dallas because of my doctor's appointments. I've seen her more going up there. And I can assure you that Amani has grown maturely within a 2-year period of the time that I've seen her. And I understand that kids as growing up, you know, some kids need this or some kids need that. And I would always interact and make sure that Amani had everything that she needs, even if Brandon wasn't able to get it for her. I would step in and be that grandparent because, you know, as being a grandparent, you know, they always want to, you know, interact. But as far as her being here, it's not to make Shay look bad, Levante look bad or anything, but she has not called me to check up on to see how Amani is doing. If she doesn't have my number, she does know where I live, but I have had no interaction whatsoever.
All right. Characterize the last 2 years as far as you mentioned that you have an occasion to go to Dallas. How many times have you been to Dallas in the last 2 years?
In the last 2 years, I would say about 14, 15 times. I go twice every 6 months.
Okay. And each time do you get a chance to see your son and his daughter?
I do.
So if you're going there at a minimum every 6 months, if not sometimes extra, do you see a change each time in the child?
Yeah. Amani is when you raise a child by yourself, that child has a tendency of wanting some attention. And from the time that I first saw her in Dallas, from the time to the present, I tell you, we interact. I mean, she's smart. She has gotten smarter. And I would play house with her, believe it or not. And she would be the waitress, and I would be the customer. And she would wait on me. And I mean, she would take my order, she would do the cooking. We just interact like that. And from that time that I mean, she wouldn't even speak to you before. But now, as she's gotten more comfortable in her environment, wherever she is, whether it be school or whether it be at the house, she has really, really matured.
Thank you. Do you believe it's in the best interest of the child to stay with her father?
I can say yes, because I'm not aware of the environment around Levante. I don't know what her living conditions are or her circumstance, but helping Brandon, uh, through the single parenting has really helped him as well. And I believe yes.
Your Honor, I'll pass this witness.
Okay. Attorney Sweet, do you have any questions for this witness?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Johnson, do you have any questions for this witness?
No.
Okay. All right. Mr. Johnson, congratulations on graduating your child from high school. I know that it's no easy feat. I just wanted to congratulate you and thank you for your time here today. You are free to leave the Zoom.
If it pleases the court, Mr. Dunson can't leave as long as he's our audio link to the next.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you to Ms. Epps. I forgot about that. Thank you for the reminder, Attorney Morales. Well, after Ms. Epps' testimony, Mr. Dunson, you and Ms. Epps will be allowed to leave.
Okay. Can we stay on or do we have to leave?
No, you stay on. You'll stay on.
I'm talking about after we're finished.
Yes.
Oh, after you're finished, yes, you may leave.
Okay. But can we stay on?
Oh, can you stay on? I mean,
Yes.
you can stay on if there's no objection, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Your Honor, can I get a time?
Sure, 21 minutes and 34 seconds.
Thank you, ma'am. And I would call Linda Epps.
Okay. Ms. Epps, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay, you may proceed, Attorney Morales.
Ms. Epps, how are you related to Brandon Dunson?
I'm his aunt.
Does that mean you're also related to Alvin Dunson?
Alvin is my brother, my baby brother.
Yes, ma'am. Now, where do you live?
I currently live here in Midland. I moved back home just a little bit over a year ago.
Where were you living before?
I lived in Plano.
So you moved to Midland about a year ago. Do you travel back to the DFW area?
I have just a few times. I haven't been able to go back as often because I've been sick, have had some surgery. But yes, I've been back a few times since I moved home in June of last year. I have to get my dates straight.
No, that's fine. But previously you lived in Plano, which is in the DFW area.
Yes. I lived there for over 24 years.
Okay. So would you agree that your ability to observe the child can be divided into two parts? One part, the first year that she was in the DFW area when you lived in Plano, and then the second part when you moved to Midland but made trips back there. Would that be a good, concise way of sketching out your observation?
Yes, it would.
So what do you think of the child's progress over the last 2 years?
Well, I will say that prior to her coming to the Dallas area, I had not seen Armani many times because I would only have an opportunity to see her whenever I would travel home to Midland. And those times were few and far between. But once she moved to Dallas, I did see Brandon and Armani on a fairly regular basis. They would come to visit, or they would come, to help me do some things around the house, so to speak. And initially, because I hadn't seen and spent a lot of time with Armani, she was very quiet and not very interactive initially. But over time and being able to see her more often, I saw her grow and to be, more attentive and playful, and we had established, a little bit of a stronger relationship.
Does when you were still living in the Plano area, did Brandon come by often enough to, of course, see family with his child? But you mentioned that he came over to take care of something for you. He's younger, he's stronger. Is that the nature of the kind of help that he would be able to give you around the house?
Yes, he didn't just come to do things around the house. They did come, just to visit. We might go out to eat, or they would just spend a little time, just visiting. But yes, he did come often, to help me when I needed that physical help from a young man.
Did you ever observe him to shirk any family duties?
Shirk any family duties?
In other words, did some young men, or it's all about them and they don't have time for family or to help you put up pictures or move the refrigerator so you can dust behind it? Have you ever known Brandon Dunson to be that kind of young man?
I can't say that I saw him shirk, family duties. Are you saying in regard to assisting me, or just family duties, with Armani?
Well, let's take it both. I mean, okay. The judge is going to see all of y'all for 2 hours, and she needs to make what's in a decision about the best interest of the child. So how is Brandon as a person towards his greater family?
Okay. Well, as a young man, with his greater family, I would say that, like most men or most people, he had closer relationships, with some family members, and and not. But I will say that Brandon showed interest in caring, especially for his grandmother, my mother, his dad's mom. He's always been very respectful, with me. I believe we had a different, closer relationship because I often had the opportunity to give him advice, because he would come and ask, or he would, seek, just help, with various, situations that he ran into in life. So I would say, generally speaking, he loves his family, and he does interact and provide, help, whenever he's called upon, and oftentimes he would just offer help without being called.
And what do you think of his interactions with his own child?
I believe that what was clear to me or is clear to me even now, that Brandon loves his daughter, and it has been his strong desire to be in her life and to show that he is her father, on an ongoing basis. I've seen the interest that he's shown in doing things to help her to progress. I was happy to see that when he learned about her delay in development in school, that he took steps to address that by getting her, into the after-school programs that were available. I believe there was also some additional tutoring that he made the effort and took time, to make sure that he would, coordinate, his work hours so he could get, her to the after school programs. I do have seen him, teach her, to discipline her, in ways that would help her to grow. And he has taught her, just the basic things, that young ladies, need to know about how to interact, with other adults, and to be, obedient, where necessary, and to be respectful and to show love. So I believe that that he has grown even in the past 2 years, that I have seen him, with her.
Do you believe it's in the best interest of the child that she stay with her father?
I do, just from secondhand knowledge and just what I have seen. And again, no disrespect, to her mother, but I do see that there is a difference in the degree of caring and love and attention. And I do see that there is a great difference, in what I see in terms of, Brandon looking at the needs of his child, not just for the moment, but also looking down the road. And I do see that he has shown just a great difference, even in understanding and knowing and learning what it is to be a true father, to his child. So again, I would just sum it up and say, overall, looking at everything, I definitely would say yes, in Armani's best interest for her to be with her father.
Thank you, Ms. Epps. Your Honor, I pass this witness.
Okay. Attorney Swede, do you have any questions for this witness?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Johnson, do you have any questions for this witness?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. Epps and Mr. Dunson, I do appreciate you all being here. You are free to stay on the Zoom if you would like, but if not, you are free to leave as well.
Okay, thank you.
And Your Honor, may I instruct those witnesses to go ahead and mute themselves?
Okay, I can mute them. It's fine. I'll do it. Oops. Okay. All right. So Attorney Morales, do you have any other witnesses?
Your Honor, I would like to recall Brandon Dustin.
Okay, you may proceed. Mr. Dunson, let me send you a prompt. There you go.
All right.
Mr. Dunson, when the Attorney General representative was questioning you. I know you got confused a couple times.
Yeah.
Now, the state of Texas believes that both parents should support their child.
Right.
Okay. And you understand, and I thought the judge did a very good job of explaining to you that before Armani came to live with you, there were times when you were behind on child support. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
What the attorney for the Office of the Attorney General had asked you was, you want credit if the amount you're owing to on child support, because until somebody changes that last order, it runs. So it's been running the last 2 years, but you want credit for the last 2 years.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Now, you testified earlier that there were at least 2 other times when the child lived with you. You said one was at least 6 months, and one you said was close to a year, but you didn't want to overstate it. So would you say that it was at least 10 months, 11 months on the other time when she?
Yeah, I would say about between 9 and 10, 11 months. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Like I said, not quite a full year, but around that time. Yes,
So
ma'am.
in addition to the 2 years that you've currently had the child, is it safe to say you also want credit for the 16 months that she lived with you before, when you were supporting her in full?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, you are asking for sole managing conservatorship, and it's a legal term. But essentially, you don't want to be exactly equal with Ms. Johnson as with regards to your rights. You're not trying to keep Ms. Johnson from her child, is that correct?
Oh, that's correct. I'm not that kind of guy to keep our kids away from the other parent. No, ma'am.
Right, but you want, you have some concerns about her ability to parent the child.
Yes, quite a few.
Now,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
testified earlier regarding the house she keeps, regards to cleanliness, and there's been quite a bit of testimony on the lack of emotional and academic progress prior to your taking over with the child. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. And if I may add, it's other things that I would like to mention. You know, if I'm able to.
Well, that was going to be my next question.
Mhm.
Spent so much time on the child's progress. What are your other concerns about Miss Johnson's ability to parent the child?
Like I said, I'm just being straight up honest. It's, you know, it's not my feelings, it's not my emotions, it's the truth. It's what I see, it's what I know. But like I said, Ms. Johnson, she's not fit. And that's just my eyes, you know. I've dealt with a lot. I've dealt with a lot since before Armani was born and after Armani was born. Between her family, us two in general, and it's like it's been rough. I've been lied on. It's bad. It's bad. And like I said, it's to the point where now I have to put my foot down, because if I don't, Ms. Johnson, she's gonna get worse. She's gonna get worse. When we went to court the first time, back in I'll say 2015 for custody, when they gave custody to her, I was lied on. I was made like I wasn't doing nothing for my child, and I had a house for us with both our names on it. I was working still at that time. I'm not sure if y'all know. In 2018 I actually got locked up because Miss Johnson lied on me and said that abused our child as far as they say whooping her, and what happened, she had bruises on her, but that was never the case, man. I never had my chance to prove it in court. It was like they took her word again and ran with it. I'm still on probation for that now as we speak. I have the only thing I have left out of that, out of those terms, is my community service hours and my fines. Community service hours are almost done, and the fines, that'll be done after, or while I'm getting my hours and stuff done. But like I said, I'm telling the court this. I've been a lot dealing with this girl. I've been, like I said, from lies to her trying to cover up her tracks to make her look good. Like, I have not been that person to that father figure to sit here and not be in my child's life. I can't speak for the other father. That's their conversation. But as far as me, I've been in my child life since day one. She's kept me from a lot of birthdays. She's kept me from around a lot of times due to her being in her feelings and not getting what she thinks she needs and wants, etc. This is why I put my foot down to fight, because of I'm not the best person in the world, but one thing I am good at is being a father. And I was raised right and grew up and was showed the right way. I know I was young and dumb at the time. Everybody, they mature at their own, at their own speed. I've learned a lot these past couple of years, especially after 2018.
Okay. Now, do you recall that we had a hearing 7 June of 2022? If you don't remember the exact date, but last year we had a similar hearing.
Yes.
Okay. At that hearing, you testified about not having access to the Medicare credentials so you could get medical service for your child. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. And that was desperately needed.
You specifically said that the child needed some dental work done.
Yes, she did. She had her two front teeth right here. This one was brown. It just wasn't right. It finally fell out and grew back. Her teeth, her teeth are starting to, get back on point. Which she regardless, she needs a dental checkup. She needs all that because it's been a couple of years and everything. So
okay. So was Miss Johnson at that prior hearing?
I believe so. It's been a while. I can't remember that, but I believe she was. Yes.
We took testimony from her. We took testimony from you.
Okay.
Okay, so she was present and she heard that you couldn't get medical attention for her child because she did not give you the Medicaid credentials. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
She also heard that there was some dental problems that needed attention immediately. So she heard that too. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Since that last hearing in June of 2022, has she reached out and provided you with the Medicaid credentials so you could get that medical help for your child?
No, ma'am, she hasn't. And if I can still count on one hand on how many times I've asked her through me calling or me sending a text, it was, I'll see what I can do, or just nothing, period. And that was something that the school was concerned on too, because they were wanting me to get her evaluated and checked on. And we set her up an appointment last year, around the time that we were first supposed to go to court last year, around November, December. We had set up a doctor's appointment. But when it came down to that day, something happened and we weren't able to get her in. But other than that, yes, I have asked her several times, hey, can you give me her info so I can, start getting my baby right? Because my baby did need help. She had not honestly, I feel like she did need to be evaluated. When we did speak about her getting evaluated, I got a date set up for this. I need her back around this time because we're gonna do this and do that. But that was never the case. And she's honestly said that several times over the years that, oh, I'm gonna go get her checked and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and it was never anything. It's just like she's still, she's still where she was at. I mean, she's still who she is, and it affects her. It affects me. Because I gotta do what I gotta do to get my child right. I mean, obviously, it wasn't happening at her original home. Now that she's out here, I'm the one trying to make sure that my child gets the right attention she needs, because she needs it. My child needs help. I mean, I'm not.
23 seconds left.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Dunson. Your Honor, I'll pass it.
Thank you. All right. Attorney Sweet, any other questions for Mr. Dunson?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you may proceed.
Mr. Dunson, so you said in total your child had lived with you 16 months before that 2-year period began in May 2021. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that 16-month period was broken up by 6 and 10 months?
Yeah, it wasn't consecutive, so it was broken up. Yes, ma'am. So yeah, you could say 10 to 6.
Okay. When was the first month?
A lot of times it was during the starting towards the summer. So yeah, that's when things really normally kicked off, when I would always keep it for a long period of time.
Past the 1 month that you'd have her over the summer, you'd keep her past that?
When it was my time to have her, yes, ma'am.
So when was the first summer that you kept her past the 1 month?
Oh, she was about 3, so 2016, 2017 is around that time all this pretty much started going on till now.
So let's say the summer of 2016, that would have been
basically before she started.
Several months after the child support order was signed. Does that sound about right?
I believe so, yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so how many months did you keep her in 2016?
I want to say that year she was 16, 20. It was about 6 to 8 months, because it was between September and November that she ended up going back to her mom. Like I said, she hadn't started school yet around that time, so it was really, a lot of times that I actually had got to keep her and be around her other than her going to school.
So she went back to her mother's when school started?
Yeah.
With you in school?
No, when she first got enrolled to school, she was down there with her mom.
Okay.
And
so let's say the summer of 2016, which month did you get your daughter?
It had to be in May or June.
Okay. And then you kept her until September?
I believe so, yes, ma'am. It's September, November. Like ending September, beginning in November.
You kept her, I'm sorry, I'm confused. Did you keep her September through November, or you just can't recall?
No, I'm saying like the time ending would have been around September, November. Because I do know, I was supposed to have her for the summers and, holidays and stuff like that. So a lot of times that I had her, more of the time was the summer, if that makes sense.
Okay. So the next year in 2017, was it the same deal where you pick her up in May to June when school ended and then bring her back in about September?
I believe that year I kept her a little bit longer. Cause like I said, she wasn't at school at that time. She was still about 3-4 years old, if I can remember. But 2017 was like the longest time that I've actually had her versus now. 2016, it was just, hey, it's the summer, I'm gonna have her, and ain't too much I have to worry about as far as her having to go back and go to school and stuff like that. And at that time, it was we had an understanding like, hey, you can keep her as long as you want. When you're ready to bring her back, bring her back. And that's when things were cordial.
So are you requesting credit of 16 months total from 2016 up until 2021 for the sporadic months that you kept your daughter over what it said in the possession order?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you also requesting credit towards the medical for those months?
Yes, ma'am.
Had you ever put your daughter on any private health insurance plan?
Not until now. I did not. No, matter of fact, she was on insurance, enrolled through insurance through my wife's company. She ended up switching jobs, so now that's where I'm getting the insurance coming in. So she was on insurance.
When did you first enroll your daughter on private health insurance through your wife's company?
It was last year.
Right.
If I'm trying
So
to make
from 2016 to 2021, you didn't have private health insurance?
Private, no, ma'am. Mm-mm. When I worked in the oil field, yes, she was on my insurance. She was still, pretty much a baby at that time, a few months old. That was the time that I actually had real good health insurance.
And that was before the 2015 order, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, way before then, yes, ma'am. Like I said, she was still a couple months old. She was like a year when we started going to court in 2015.
Are you currently employed?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Where do you work?
I work for a moving company.
Are you paid hourly or salary?
Hourly.
How much do you make per hour?
Right now, 16.
Do you have any other sources of income besides that job?
I mean, not steady, but I do have, side jobs that I do here and there whenever I'm off of work.
How many hours per week do you work at the moving company?
It ranges from 40 plus.
Do you get overtime?
Yeah, it depends. I know recently we have been.
And so the side jobs, what are those side jobs?
To be helping an old co-worker out, delivering furniture, or it would be me, washing or detailing somebody's car that I know, and that's something I do on my own. It really ranges from a lot of things. Like, it's not just one particular thing. Like, I'm best way to phrase it, a jack of all trades. So it's a lot that I do on the side. Just to bring my income in.
How many times a month do you do those sort of odd jobs?
Lately, it's been about maybe 2 or 3 times, if that. Like I said, things been kind of slow now that the summer is approaching, and things were slow before now. But other than that, like I said, I just mainly been in my main job. Like I said, the only time I have time to do things like that is when I'm off, or unless I got time after work. But it's not always like an every other day thing that I'm doing that.
Your Honor, I pass the witness.
Okay. All right. Ms. Johnson, this is your opportunity. If you had any additional questions to ask Mr. Johnson, you may do so if you choose to.
No, I don't.
Okay. All right. May Mr. Johnson be excused from the witness stand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Attorney Morales, you have 1 minute and 17 seconds left.
Yes, ma'am. And I have no further witnesses, so I'll save that for cross-examination.
Okay. Thank you. Attorney Sweet.
Yes, Your Honor, I'd like to call Mother.
Okay. Ms. Johnson.
Yes, ma'am.
Attorney Sweet, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ma'am, what is your full name?
Levante Deshae Johnson.
Are you currently employed?
Yes, ma'am.
Where do you work?
I work at Delic Stores US.
At where?
Delic Stores US, DK. It's like 7-Eleven, but it's Delic now. Yes, ma'am.
Thank
And how many hours per week do you work?
It'll be 35 to 40 hours.
Are you salary or are you paid hourly?
Hourly.
How much do you make per hour?
$12 an hour.
Do you have any other source of income?
I do hair. I'm a loctician. I do hair. That's like a little thing I do on the side. But other than that, no other jobs.
How many times do you do hair per month?
It'll be like within like 5 people. It'll be like 3 to 4, like 3 to 5 clients a month.
And how much profit do you make off of doing that?
It'll be the service, the lock service, it'll be like $50 a client. So sometimes I make like within that month, it'll be $125, $150.
Total?
Yes, ma'am.
That's not per client, that's total for 3 to 5 clients.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, per client. Yeah, it'll be within the whole clients. Well, yeah, because it'll be like $50 a client. So throughout the 3 to 5.
Okay. Understand. Okay.
Yeah.
And do you does your employer currently offer private health insurance that you could put your daughter on moving forward?
I have her on my Medicaid, but they do have health insurance, but I didn't sign up yet.
Do you know how much that health insurance would be through your employer?
No, I really don't.
Moving forward, would you be in agreement to Mr. Dunson carrying your daughter on private health insurance?
The private health insurance, that's fine.
And you have one other minor child, is that correct?
Yeah, yes, my son.
Your Honor, I pass the witness.
Okay. All right, Attorney Morales.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, Ms. Johnson,
Yes, ma'am.
do you receive any, besides Medicaid, do you receive any other governmental services or cash?
No, I don't have food stamps. I only have Medicaid.
Last June, you testified that you were on food stamps.
No, I had food stamps. It had ended at the end of June, I believe. June was the last day. And the other jobs that I had, they wouldn't let me. While I was at the hotel, I was making too much, so I couldn't really get food stamps at the moment.
I'll pass the witness.
Okay. All right, Attorney Sweet, do you have any additional questions for this witness?
No, Your Honor.
All right, you may call your next witness.
No further witnesses, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Johnson, this is your opportunity to now, you've heard all the testimony, so this is now your opportunity to tell me what it is that you would like for me to know about your side of the case after, you know, everything that you've heard, the witness's testimony, everything like that, whatever it is you want me to know, this is your opportunity to do so, just to kind of guide you as to what it is that I would be looking for that would really help move your testimony along. You heard the Attorney General ask you questions about your income. You've heard testimony about how long the child has been living with Mr. Dunson. If there is something you wanted to clear up or add to those things, that would definitely greatly assist me in putting together this timeline to trying to figure out what's happened between 2015 when the order was entered up until now. Okay.
Okay, so start from 2015.
2015 would be best because anything before that was preceding the prior order. So it really wouldn't have an impact on my ruling as much. What would be from 2015 at the time that this order was entered until now.
Okay.
Okay, and you may proceed.
Yes. So in 2015, I was pregnant with my son as well. I really didn't get enough help from him at all, really. When I did try to ask him, could he at least send $20 for Armani, like to help out, he wouldn't do it. There's times where I've tried to reach out to call or try to reach out to a family member or anything, and they never really reach out to me. They wait on me to reach out to them first. I have no problem with the grandfather, Mr. Dunson. We always was like he was really a good person. Would try to give me advice whenever, if I ever was trying to see them, but no one really ever reached out to just say, hey, can I come get Armani or anything like that? It would always have to be me reaching out. I have payments to where I have been making payments. I have been sending him money since all the way from 2020. And these are most of all of the cash out payments I've also did for her birthdays, any other holidays, anything.
Okay, Ms. Johnson, let me ask you a question about that. The cash out receipts, did you so happen to send a copy to the court, the attorney general, or to Mr. Dunson's attorney?
No, I didn't know I was supposed to send it to his attorney. But I was just told when I had my consultation just to have all my receipts up and everything. I was going through. Yeah, I was going through.
Wait a minute, hold on. That's fine. That's fine. You don't have to explain it. That was just the question. But what I do need you to do is for the purposes of the record, you would have to break down what those payments look like by year.
Okay, so yeah, by year. So I've been sending since March 21st, 2020.
Okay. And so from March 1st of 2020, what was the last month you sent a payment in 2020?
In 2020, it is. My bad, I'm sorry. It was March, the payment was October 31st, 2020. That's when it started. Sorry. And then it ended, and then it ended March 21st, 2020.
Okay, so you mean March 21st to 2020? I mean March 21st of 2020 through October 31st of 2020?
I'm sorry, it was backwards. It was October 21st, 2020, and then March.
Of 2021.
Yeah, all the way to 2021. It'll start from July 14th.
Okay, hold on. It starts for 2020. We're only talking about 2020.
Yes, ma'am.
What month did you start at? What month did you stop at for 2020?
Okay, for 2020, October 31st is where it began.
Okay. And so then, October, hold on, in 2020, you only made one payment in 2020. That was in October.
No, it was, can I say the dates and everything? Or
yeah.
It was October 29th, May 26th, 2020, May 8th, 2020, May 5th, 2020, April 27th, 2020, March 21st, 2020.
Okay, so you made payments in March, April, May, and October of 2020.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that's 4. Is that, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It looks like 6 payments that you said. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. How much were those payments?
It was within about 42. It was about 40, 80. It'll be $50.
Okay, so all 6 of the payments, tell me how much each one of them were. I'm adding them up as you talk.
Yes, ma'am. So we're starting at the first payment, October 31st, it was just $20.
Okay.
October 29th, that was from him. I'm sorry. That was from him. He sent me $5. May 26th, 2020, I sent 10. May 8th, 10. May 5th, $20.
Okay.
April 27, 2020, $48. March 21st, 2020, $22. And where I'm at 20. And July 14th, oh, I'm sorry, June 11th, 2021, $50.
Where
And
that's 2021. So the last payment that you made, well, you went backwards. So the first payment that you made was in March of 2020, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so in 2020, I have you at $130. Now,
Yes.
for 2021, tell me each month that you made a payment and how much.
Yes, ma'am. So 2021, it was June 11th, 2021, it was $50. July 14th was $20. And April 7th, 2021 was $20. That's about it on that one.
Okay, so $90 in 2021. All right, what about 2022?
2022 it started, I want to say, it started July 15th, 2022, $80.
Okay.
November 9th, 2022, $40. And then I'm up to January 25th of this year.
Okay, so in 2022, I have you at $120. What have you paid so far this year?
This year is starting from January 25th, $50. On her birthday, February 10th, I had sent her $25 for her birthday. And on February 14th, for Valentine's Day, I sent her 10. And then I sent her a $150 on Tuesday.
Okay, the $150, what was that for?
That was just for her niece. Basically, it was like for Easter, I think. No. April 26th. Yeah, April 7th, I sent her $50 for Easter. And then for just cause it was $40 on April 26th, I sent her $40. The $150 was just for like her birthday, whatever she wanted and everything, her needs and thing. Cause I would always ask, do she need anything? He'll say, no, she don't need nothing. But whenever I send her money and I ask her about it, she say, what money did you send? And she get a little confused.
Okay, so the $50 payment, did you send that to your daughter or were you sending that to dad as child support?
I was sending it for my daughter. It says Happy Easter on there right here. I was sending it for my.
Okay, so the payments that you made in 2023 were not for child support per se. They were for specific.
For her needs and everything. Yes, ma'am. For anything that she needs.
Okay. All right. I have it. Okay. You may continue.
And how it started to where he called and asked me, can he keep her for like a year for educational reasons and stuff like that, which I agreed to it, but he was told to bring her back August 1st, 2022. And so when he told me, he said, I don't have nothing on my background. You know, they dropped the case. All of that was just a lie. The girl that was in the incident with him was also there to the detectives and told them that he had put his hands on her. There were numerous pictures of bruises all on her. So CPS has stepped in as well. And they also had seen the bruises as well. And we filed charges on him. He went to jail for that. So after all of that, he just randomly called within last 2 years ago. He called and was just like, hey, so can I keep her and stuff for educational reasons and stuff, for school and stuff. And I said, yeah, that's fine. Just make sure you just bring her back, August 1st, 2022. So he was like, yeah, I don't have anything. So coming to find out when I did a consultation, I had a criminal background that he was still on probation. And I didn't know anything about that. He never told me he was on probation or anything. If I would have known that, then we would have had a better understanding, a different way situation for the visitations and everything situated. That I never kept him away from my daughter at all. That's one thing I don't do. I have a 7-year-old son that's AB honor roll student. I do care about education very, very much, a lot. My daughter was here when she went to Travis Elementary. That is a scholarship school. And that school she passed pre-K, had A's and B's, didn't have no tutor or anything, didn't need to do tutoring. So I don't know where the other part about the education, where it was like wrong to a first grade level. When she was down here, she was on a good level. She was on the right level. So I don't know. It's been a lot of out here for her to come out here. There's cheer classes that I wanted her to do. The dentist situation, he did not ask me. He just asked me what was the medication number, and I asked her what was the reason why for. He just said just to check up. She doesn't have to have any more shots until she's the age of 12 because I did all of her shots. Her shots are all updated. When I tried to tell him that he had told me that I could come get her by August, and I was going to be on my way to travel down there with my mother in Dallas. It was around about 8:30, 9 o'clock that he told me that he had to talk to me on the phone. I talked to him on the phone, and he was just like, yeah, my lawyer advised me for me to keep our money until we go to court. And it's been months after months. I still haven't gotten to physically see my daughter. Still haven't, unless.
Miss Johnson, my court reporter is trying to write down everything you're saying. So you're going really fast. It's okay. Just slow down a little.
I'm just saying I'm very emotional, and I'm sorry.
Okay.
And so I've also had contacted the school that she was in to transfer her back, bring her stuff to transfer her back. And I do have emails where I had sent them the court order papers, and that I have emails with the other teachers from this school to get in contact with the other school out there to bring her number, ID, everything else, everything that she had school out there to transfer it back here. And they've been emailing them and contacted them. Once I tried to contact Mrs. Cruz up there at the Grand Prairie school, she told me that I was not on the emergency list. It was Brandon and his wife that was only on the emergency contact list, and that I cannot come up there on the premises. I would have to, if I wanted to get her or pick her up, I would have to be on the pickup drop off list, and he wasn't on there. But he was on the pickup drop off list out here when she was in school. So I'm not, and I've also been living on my own since 2016. I've never been an unfit parent. I've always kept a job. I keep my kids in order. My son is an AB honor roll student. I take education very serious. And he just tries to make a big thing to make it seem like that I'm very unfit, that I don't do anything, which I do. I work too hard to take care of both of my kids. My son, of course, I can't just leave him out, or because I'm trying to stay focused on my daughter. Anything that she needs, I send it to her. Anything that she wants to ask her, I tell her she okay. She'll try to talk to me, but I feel like that he only lets me talk to her only on the speakerphone, monitored. And that is not fair that's not right on my end. That's not fair. Certain things she wants to tell me, but she can't really tell me is because I'm on speakerphone and she's monitored. I also went to the police department or whatever and tried to do the little custody case to do a follow-up or whatever, because he's not letting me see my child. And they said that there's nothing that they could really do anything until I go to court and for me to show that.
Hold on, Miss Johnson, Mr. Johnson, those faces. You cannot make faces. You just have to sit there stoic, okay? Be respectful. All right, Miss Johnson, you may continue.
Yes, ma'am. So I had went up there to the police department. I also called the police department out there, but they said there's nothing that they could do until we have court or whatever. When I asked him, can I have her for Thanksgiving, Christmas or anything, he told me no until we go to court. So it's been months passed by and I can only get to talk to her. Those times where his attorney sent me, the days were only just 2 days out of that week were the testing times. My son had to test and everything for his school, and I could not miss that. And I also had a promotion on my job. So I couldn't, just drop everything and then just go out there. I was trying to make everything, work out for me and him instead of just having to do all of that. But they only gave me basically like a day and a half just to see my child, and that's not right. I understand that she's in school, but school and that's a big thing. I always ask her every time I get to talk to her, how is school? How's the grades doing? Everything. So I'm very big on her education.
Slow down.
I'm sorry. I'm very big on her education and everything. So it's just like this is very ridiculous. I'm not unfit at all. I work too hard to do everything for my kids. I try to do everything for my kids. I don't miss a heartbeat on anything.
Okay.
Now with the family situations, his family don't really speak to me. I don't, if I reach out to them, I'll reach out to them. The last time I've seen his father was at a restaurant or whatever. And, Armani was there with me and he got to see her. But, he was just like, how's everything going? And, just a little update, follow up. But no one has, outside of his family, has, asked, hey, how's she doing? Whenever I had her in my possession, no one ever reached out or ever even tried to come see her or anything.
Okay. Ms. Johnson, I have a couple of questions for you. You said you live by yourself.
Yes.
Do you live by yourself currently?
Yes, ma'am. It's me and my son.
Okay. And how many bedrooms do you live in?
I have a 3-bedroom, which I'm in my daughter's room right now. She's
you live
on
in a house or apartment?
An apartment. She's on my lease.
Okay. Between you, so dad is here in Grand Prairie, you are in Midland. Do you know if there's like a Buc-ee's or something that's like at a midway point where you all could exchange?
I believe it was what is that? Is it a Love's or something? I believe, Grand Prairie, but we usually like an Apple.
Flying J?
Oh,
yes, ma'am.
yeah, Flying J.
That's an
Okay, Mr. Dunson, it's thank you, but go back on mute for me. Thank you. Okay, so Flying J.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you all exchanged there before?
Yes, we have a few times. And whenever it was the time, it was only one time when my mom had to go because I had to go drop her off to him to meet halfway. Is because I had a medical situation with my son, his asthma, and I had my job at the time to where it was mandatory and I didn't want to lose my job at the time. That was only one time. Any other times I would have a ride or I will meet halfway or he would come over here and come down here in Midland and meet halfway and get her.
Okay. And Flying J, where is that located?
I believe it's like on I-20. I think it's I-20, but it's like whenever you're about to get out of Abilene or something like that, I believe.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And you mentioned that you got a promotion. Is that the $12 an hour you make now, or is it more?
It's going to be right now it's 12, but I'm on the training week right now. As we speak, I'm training right now to be the assistant manager of that store.
Okay. How much will your income go up from the $12?
I believe she said that it would only be $13 or $14, I believe.
All right. And do you know around what time that would actually occur? Like, would it be in June? Would it be in July?
I believe it would be, she told me that I'm in training week right now, but it would take within 2 months almost to get everything down packed because they had to do a big sweep on the store to where they had to get rid of the store manager and everything. And the new store manager that's training me now is trying to get to know that store and get everything in order.
Okay. All right. And then you said doing hair, you make between $125 and $150 a month. Is that correct?
Yeah, something like that. When it's because I also do like specials, like if it's a Mother Day special, you want to get a retwist or something, hey, I can do it for $50 or something, a Father's Day special or anything else like that. I do little specials for hair. But I don't make like a lot of money like that off of hair.
Okay. When you're not running specials, how much do you charge typically for a client?
Yes, for a wash retwist and style is $125.
Okay, and that could be per person, right?
Yes.
All right. So just so I'm clear, when you testified that you have about 5 clients a month, if there is no special that month, each one of those 5 clients are paying you $125.
No, if it's just a retwist, it's $80.
Okay. So
Yes,
they're paying between $80 to $125.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
All right. Who is your support system? Whether it's here in Dallas or in Midland, who is your support system? I heard you mention your mom. Is there anybody else?
Yes, my auntie, the one that was on the Zoom meeting the last time, my aunt Lavonda Johnson, she is the biggest support system that I do have out here. My mother, I do have other aunts as well.
All right. Would either of those people be able to make exchanges if you aren't able to at that Flying J's?
Yes, my aunt Lavonda. Yes, my mom and my aunt Lavonda agreed to it.
Okay. All right. Dad talked about you would send the child with him because you needed a break or you were unable to care for the child. What was that? What was the circumstance around that?
No, it's not as in a big break, as in like, no, I need you to come get her or anything like that because I need a break. No, it was nothing like that. It's where really he needs to have her to keep, the times where it did say summertime, birthdays, and holidays on the contract. I did ask him like, hey, you know what I'm saying, do you want her or whatever? Certain days he'll be like, no, I can't do it right now, or I can't. I'm like, okay, well, let me know. I've done that twice. But now, ever since the all this other stuff situation is going on, now he's stepping up and stuff like that. Then he's threatening me, talking about that, he's gonna come for me if I don't get him off child support. He's been arguing me down for years about getting him off of child support and threats.
Okay. When was the last time you seen Armani?
Last time I got to see her is whenever his grandfather passed away or somebody passed away in his family. And that was around in June, I believe.
June of 2022?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that was the last time you've actually seen her in person?
With my son physically, just for one day. And that was about it.
How old is your son?
My son is 7 years old now.
Okay. And for anything, I know you mentioned the phone, but electronic, have you ever been able to see her like on a Zoom call or a FaceTime or anything?
No, ma'am. I just asked her recently and she asked her dad, do he have FaceTime? And I heard him on the speakerphone and say, no, I don't have any of that or whatever. But his wife also had my number and also has FaceTime. So they had a way to FaceTime me. They both had my numbers.
Okay. When was the last time you spoke to Armani?
It was a couple of days ago. It was on Mother's Day, actually.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, that's the questions that I had for you. Is there anything else you would like for me to know?
No, ma'am. That's it.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Cross-examination of Ms. Johnson, anything further? Attorney Sweet, Attorney Morales?
No, Your Honor.
I think Your Honor covered it fairly well.
Okay, thank you. All right. So let me stop that time. All right, any closing?
Yes, ma'am. I'd like a brief close.
Okay, and you have 38 seconds.
I can make it. Your Honor, I know there's been allegations from both sides, but the only evidence that's before the court, it's uncontroverted that it really would be in the best interest of the child to remain with her father. Multiple witnesses testified as to her progress and how far behind she was when Mr. Dunson first took possession of her. There's going to be recriminations back and forth between parents. It happens in almost every case, but the items of evidence that Ms. Johnson attempted to get in by holding them up to the camera were never provided to either side. And even if they had been, I don't think it amounts to very much in the way of swaying the decision. There were at least
Your time just expired.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Take that.
Attorney Sweet.
Yes, Your Honor. I just had some recommendations.
Yes.
Moving forward, if father is primary and mother is required to pay support, father should be required to carry private health insurance for the child, and mother should be required to pay cash medical support of $116 per month. That's a 9% cap divided by the 2 children. And then $370 for child support, assuming the gross wages are approximately $2,580. And then if mother is primary and then father support, he should still be required to carry the private insurance. And then his child support will be approximately $427 per month. Regarding the arrearages.
Attorney Sweet, would you repeat the last, what you said, if mother is primary, then father support, he should still be required to pay private health insurance, and then his child support would be
$427 per month.
Okay.
And Your Honor, that's assuming that the health insurance costs at least 9% of father's gross of $250 per month. And then regarding the arrearages and possession credits, this one, a lot of numbers, a little more complicated. Your Honor, the state's records currently show as of May 15th that father is in arrears in child support of $30,242.46 and medical support of $13,466.50. If father's to have possession credits for the 2 years plus the 16 months, a total of 40 months, those possession credits for child support would be $12,866.58, making the judgment total $17,375.88. And the state calculated an appropriate payout if the court would like at $137 per month. And then for the medical support arrears, Your Honor, I'd only calculated 2 years. I did not include the other 16 where father had the child a couple of extra months over the summer. So 2 years worth of possession credits for the medical support would be $4,134 for a total judgment for medical of $9,332.50 and an approximate payout of $97 per month. And that is all the state's recommendations, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Ms. Johnson, did you want to give a closing statement? A closing statement was just, you summing up what it is that you're asking me to do today.
I'm just asking to just to return my daughter back to the original residence. And I do want to just keep doing with the co-parenting with the visitation situation. That is fine, but I just need her back home. This has been too long and he's refusing to let me see my child, and this isn't right. And I have my rights too. And I really think that she needs to come back home.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I have taken many notes. I don't know if you all can see me looking down. I was looking at the transcript of your testimony for each of the witnesses. I took plenty of notes that I wrote down, and I have a lot to consider. So I won't give you all a ruling right now, which is probably what you were looking for. So I would like to take this under advisement and review all of the testimony before I make a recommendation or give a ruling rather to what the court is going to do. I would like though, however, because it's very puzzling that Ms. Johnson has not seen this child in almost a year. So I would like to see when is Armani's last day of school? Mr. Dunstan?
I believe it would be on the 25th, if I'm not mistaken. And if I may I have time to say anything? Or my bad?
Well, you already have. You spoke to your attorney.
Yeah, I'm just saying, respectfully, I didn't really get to say all that I, needed to. A lot of, things were left out, but that was just my question. But to answer your question about the end of school, I believe it's on the 25th.
Okay, so this weekend, while I'm taking everything under advisement, I need Armani to see her mom.
I'm fine with that, ma'am. I've always been fine with it. Like I say, I'm putting it.
You don't have to explain it. You don't have to explain. You don't have to explain. It's fine. This is not your opportunity to defend yourself. I'm not saying you're wrong. Mom is wrong. I'm not accusing anybody. The court is just concerned because that's a long time for a child to go without seeing a parent. Ms. Johnson, do you work this weekend?
Yes, I do. I had to take this Monday and Tuesday off for the court situation, but I can talk to my boss and see if I can go. If I have to go down there or meet halfway to get her or whatever, that's fine.
Okay, so this is what I want you to do. What is your have you been emailing my coordinator at all?
I don't think so. I think I had like an email of examples and stuff like that, but I didn't have no email.
Okay, what is your email address?
It's SHAY Johnson 682 @gmail.com.
Okay, this is what I want you to do. Do you have the Attorney General's email and Attorney Morales's email?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, one of her assistant had emailed me before. Yes, I have it.
Okay, so this is what I need you to do. I need you to speak with your boss today.
Okay.
See what type of arrangement you can be made so you can see your daughter Friday, Saturday, Sunday, with returning her on Sunday, right? So because before I can say how you're going to get her, I want to make sure that you're going to be available, because I don't want dad to get on the road, meet you halfway, and then you can't even have her. You put her off on somebody else because you have to work. That's not fair to her either.
Yes.
Okay, I want the two of you to spend some time together. So sometime today, send an email with both attorneys on it, letting them know what your work schedule is going to look like. And I also need you to copy my court coordinator on that email, okay? Let me give you her email address. You ready?
Okay, what is it?
It's Destiny, DEST as in Tom, IN as in Nancy, .McInnes, that's M as in Mary, C as in cat, N as in Nancy, N as in Nancy, S as in Sam, at dallascounty.org. And that's all spelled out, DALLASCOUNTY.org.
Okay.
Okay, so we need to know what your work schedule looks like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you are able to get the entire weekend off, that would be my recommendation that you ask for. I understand it's your training week, but if they can at least give you this, considering the circumstance, that would be great. But I would like for you to, whatever your work schedule is going to look like, whether you're working or not, let everybody know what that's going to look like and do it quickly, so I can at least make a ruling for what this weekend is going to look like. Okay.
Ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Dunstan, are you or someone else available to, depending on what the work schedule is going to look like, are you or someone else able to meet in Abilene to get our money to her mom?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. And same thing for Sunday. Are you or someone able to meet mom Sunday to pick our money back up?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So that's where we're at right now, and I will wait to hear from you, Ms. Johnson, to see what that's going to look like, okay?
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you all for being here, and thank you for your patience.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
You're welcome.